today. And here's who the Terps send out.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, dogs all over the board here. And one guy I'm going to be looking for right away, Henry Dodge, the Vermont.
Logan McNaney, he starts again. After the infraction, it goes to Maryland, a team that's made it to Memorial Day each of the last 2 seasons. What will it be in 2026? Here comes a 2026 Terps team to tell them. 30 on the clock. Stovall, back to Whittier. Here is the number 1 in Spanos. Right-handed shot and saved by Watkinson. Up for grabs and Whittier taps it, but just momentarily.
Good look for Spanos.
A shot, but the save made by Brian Ruppel. And here comes the senior. Ruppel perfect on his first save opportunity of 2026. Now starts it offensively. Into the middle with Schaller. It goes. Oh, how about that defense though? It comes from Alexander. It's a Terps defense that allowed a Big Ten low 8 goals per game last season. Top 10 in the country too. Spun to Matthew Minikis, our player to watch. Out to the right side, again it's Everhart. The shot and score for Loyola. Greyhounds get on the board first. And it's Keenan Everhart to do so.
But Everhart getting a good start here. You see him switching on to Alexander, and he just made that easy dodge to the right side, able to sneak it past Ruppel.
It's Brady Rogoff, but he keeps it in.
I really like the passing near the crease for the Terps. They just haven't been able to clean up those passes. You almost had that Yale link up there with Johnson on the other end, not able to get it.
Offensively, a save made by Ruppel. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Right side shot, and it's off the side of the post. Getting the rebound though. Pass out, and defense from Maryland. Schaller came into the picture.
Spanos so hard to guard as he's able to hit those shots from beyond.
Off the whistle, here comes Maryland. Back to Spanos, his shot, and saved again by Watkinson. Rebound and score for Spencer Ford. Well, for a guy who didn't see any action as a freshman a year ago, the talented former 5-star opens the account for Maryland and ties.
IQ of a player Ford is. Look where he is. He's right at the goal. Spanos gets all the attention on offense. He knocks in the first shot, and look at him celebrate.
A team that has to be confident with where they're at right now after scoring that first goal. Looked inside, tough defense, and a lost shot. Ruppel. Here come the Terps offensively. Connor Wilbur couldn't get anything for Loyola, so Maryland takes over. Inside, pass, shot, and just wide right. Would have been A.J. Larkin's first of the season. He had
their end.
Here are the Terps. Last possession, it was a goal for Spencer Ford. Elijah Stovall left shot. Again, a save made by Watkinson and Loyola.
Tell you what, Ryan, these 2 goalies are keeping this game.
Spin move for Brady Quinn. Over to the right side. Luke Murphy puts on a lefty shot, and he scores. Murphy makes it 2-1 Loyola. 8-7 win, thanks to the game-winning goal from Matthew Keegan, Binghamton transfer, who had a great single season with Maryland. Lose him, lose Bryce Ford on the attack, and Daniel Kelly. There's a lot of talent. Lets it rip, but a save by Watkinson. Again, it's a loose ball. So the Terps scored their only goal so far. Gets it to Lyons. Worked around. Urksa. Back to Spanos, and Urksa has it. Up to Soba. Deeks fires, scores! Elijah Stovall creates the second chance opportunity for Maryland and then ties us at 2.
You see him nodding his head there, and he's a sneaky good player off this.
Now a senior again. He's starting as his second year. It was really trial by fire in his first year as a starter, where he had to face over 530 shots.
Yeah, it was a Loyola season that just was off really wonky throughout, as Maryland will get it off the turnover here.
Top of the post. Closest one to it will be Loyola with Brady Quinn. You can see that one just didn't get near goal.
He almost took A.J. Larkin's head off, which is hard to do when you're 6'3".
Quinn, again working on Larkin. Right side. With Johnson, and Leo Johnson's got his first as a Terp. The graduate comes over from Yale and gives Maryland its first lead of the season thanks to a pretty spin move.
There with the left hand puts that one top corner. Johnson was an elite goal scorer in the Ivies, knocking down over 100 for Yale in his 3-year career there.
The right side with Chris Lyons. Lyons thinks teammate, still 40 on the shot clock. To Spanos, lefty fire, and get a save again from Watkinson. Musgrove, now back to Minikis. Loyola's team captain finds it back with Murphy. His shot just goes wide left against Rupel. But back around to Musgrove. And Quinn gets by, shoots, and scores. Brady Quinn ties us back up at 3.
McNaney make this save. This is a tough one. I mean, right above the helmet is where Quinn decides to go. Rupel just can't get his stick up in time. And this is a barn burner forming here at JHH, Ryan. 3 to
off the turnover, the shot falling down. It's a goal for Mason Cook. He just cooks that one up after the Maryland turnover.
Can't get it across the midfield line, and now the fast break. He's got his stick up in the air and falling down, throwing that one in. What a play by Mason Cook, who was sneaky.
Whittier, Stoba to Spanos with some space in front. To Lyons, he bounces it in.
Dead end possession for the Terps. Watch how he dodges to the right. He gets the step on his defender and just bounces that past Watkinson. So far, it hasn't really been the fireballs out of the sticks here, getting past these goalies.
As he watched Ajax and watched Logan to take a page out of their books with their leadership. How about this soaring score right afterwards with Chris Lyons? Give him 2 straight. Maryland makes the most after that timeout.
Let's take a look at the replay. Soaring through, only one hand on the stick is enough for Lyons to put the Terps back on top.
Yeah, this indoor turf might be a little bit softer than what we...
Watkinson, and he's letting them know.
A flag flew before. It was Johnson who gets the shot.
Every game last season. Let's see if he can get into this game as well.
Spanos' first goal on 6 shots he's had. Now, do they look to get an Urksa involved? And there was 3 5-star. Higgins behind to Urksa. To Gardner, Johnny Gardner. Can't get one right directly out against Alexander. Back with Musgrove. Lets it fly and bounces it past Brian Rupel.
These two teams very intertwined and with the long series history, as we mentioned earlier.
Johnson back to Whittier, who has Green in front of him. Instead, passes left. Spanos, Deeks, fires, scores.
Took that one a little bit above the cage there, but Spanos again. The thing about him that makes him so difficult, he can score, but he scores quickly and often.
A shot and score from Johnson. Leo Johnson just at 5.
Moments in this game. Alexander on defense, Lyons with his pair of goals, and now Johnson adds another. Take a look at the assist there from Urksa. And Johnson, what makes him dangerous is he's so quick and shifty. His ability.
He gets it to Larkin.
Oh, he just got that off because he got hit from behind there, but now the Terps fast break on offense.
Transition, here's Larkin, lets it rip, and the LSM fires it home.
Much energy to this team here, but this was just a really good sequence all the way around. Urksa to Larkin, and then from long range, the snipe. Maryland's in double digits.
It's a give and go. Larkin, game-high 5-goal lead. Does Lyons have more? Flag comes. This will go against the Loyola defense. They keep with Maryland on offense. Whittier to up top to Stoba. He zips it in. Second time today, we've seen the flag fly on the Loyola defense, but it doesn't matter. Maryland scores anyways, and so does Elijah Stoba.
Stovall is having himself a game, Ryan. I've been around on defense. It started with Spanos working his way inside, bullying his defender, and they completely screwed up Loyola's rotations. Stovall was wide open, and from the left side, no chance at saving that one. Despite of the fact that C.J. Kirst was not having a great game, you turn that kind of philosophy over to the Maryland side. Spanos, as he has it here, is not at his 100% peak. We've seen him in moments in today's game, but the fact that the Terps have these other goal scorers gives John Tillman confidence going forward.
They got a goal scorer there. They got a goal scorer in Leo Johnson. Again, we just mentioned it. You know, give him 4 goals with
against the long pole. He just goes right by him. Slots it past Watkinson, who's been really busy back here in the third quarter. But the Terps really putting a lot of these doubters and a lot of these nerves aside.
Pass to Owens, can't be controlled. Loose ball goes perfectly to Urksa. Inside, shot and a score again for Leo Johnson. That goal, that loose ball couldn't have gave any more of a favorable Maryland roll. But then
the Owens, watch the play from Spanos right here. Just kind of an indirect pick, leading Urksa to get the clean ground ball pickup, and then over to Johnson using his speed. A real
to Spanos, and then Lyons looks to do the same. It goes over the net, and we are the closest one to it with 5 seconds on the game clock. Lyons goes behind the back and scores. And now they're looking to find some on the highlight reel. And Chris Lyons does just
a way to close out the third quarter. This is just ridiculous. Look at this play. Behind the back, behind his defender's helmet, and he still slots it past.
Gorey, who looked for a dribbler to the far right post. It misses everything, and will still be with Loyola. Everhart wrap around and score. Had that first goal for Loyola to give the Greyhounds a 1.
This has been the move that the Greyhounds have been trying to pull all game long. There's the quick wraparound on goal, and they finally take the shot. That's pretty decent defense as well.
Now pass over to Everhart after his goal. He passes it off. Minikis, rare shot, and his first score. He was our player to watch for Loyola. Maryland's contained him so far today.
Rear appearance, Minikis finally makes his mark on this game. A nice side-armed left-handed shot there. You knew at some point he was going to get there, just like Spano.
Couple of blue waves in Minikis. Jake Wilson, we see the junior defender often. All part of a Loyola team that trails by 7, but have scored 2 straight and make it 3. Mason Cook gets back on the board. And with over 12.5 minutes to go, still a big deficit for the Greyhounds, but that's 3 straight for the...
You see how open Cook gets there, just right behind the last line of defense. And if you're Rupel, I mean, you got to be asking your defenders, where'd you guys go? Rupel's had a good game, but...
Freshman Gardner. Spin move. And a score. First goal in game number 1 for Johnny Gardner. And the Gonzaga product. That's his name.
In his class, look at the spin move he puts on his defender there. Brings the stick around and just slots it right by Watkinson. Nice job by Maryland there. They face adversity and they...
Left side with Lyons. He's got a hat trick today. Now fires for a 4th. Terps back up to doubling. Trujillo.
It's really nice defense there from the Greyhounds. They took Spanos out of the equation there. Didn't really give him anywhere to look, and the Terps didn't have a good look on goal.
Minikis, a good pass, but then an even better save for Brian Rupel. He was ready when Bruno...
He's as talented as they come at the attack position, but the depth of this Maryland team is really something that makes them dangerous.
And it means that guys like Ford, who's the top attacker in last year's high school class, with Johnson setting that one long, top attacker in last... Go. McPherson played in the season opening win over Richmond as one of those 2 games. Now looking for a season opening win appearance against Loyola. Ward back out to Ford.
He to Ford and scored just like that. This is what I'm talking about. Maryland has so many different ways they can beat you. How about the...
Here in College Park a year ago, or in the semifinals in Foxborough, it's been Schaller who's had his way with Spallina too, as we think about that one on Friday. Inside, and a good score top right for Hamish McPherson.
This is the kind of close scoring that I thought Maryland was going to pull off earlier in this game. You see the pass there from Higgins right on the quadruple, and then the backup being a freshman. It's two experienced goalies for Loyola.
Kyle McCarthy for Loyola. It's Dominicus. Loose ball leads to a score for the Greyhounds. It's Henry Haberman. Correa, the sophomore out of Ohio, makes his first career appearance. He did allow that goal to Haberman. So the day is done too for Brian Ruppel. But right now Maryland has it offensively with a strike. And that comes courtesy of Sisto Averno. Eric Spanos who's celebrating.
I mean, Averno just finds an open lane and knocks that one through. This is a guy who, again, hasn't played, scores his first career goal. John Tillman on Maryland and Gary Gate in Syracuse. And boy, it's going to be a fun one from Syracuse next week.
It was Maryland who picked up a comfortable 14-8 win over the Orange at Gillette Stadium in last year's.
The Terps, it didn't get there as quickly as the Terps thought it might. And through the first two quarters, Loyola hung around, but by the end, Maryland proved why they were #1, and they get